Three, two, one. What is up, guys? This is the Worship Leader Blog. Is this no? This is a podcast. We're gonna start it over. No, we're not gonna start it over. I messed up. I'm gonna commit to it. What's up, guys? This is the Worship Leader Podcast. I'm Terry.
And I'm Josh.
Josh got it. I didn't get it.
I won.
How y'all been doing?
That's funny.
It feels like it's been forever.
Honestly.
It feels like
For real.
Forever. It's been a few weeks. A little bit caught up.
Oh, goodness.
In these past couple of weeks, I did get COVID.
It got him.
AKA Rona, AKA the vid, whatever you want to call it. I got it.
He got him.
You got me. It was not fun, to say the least. It was the Friday we did that. The Friday that we did the last podcast, and then wait, no, that was Thursday.
Oh, well, yeah, Thursday, because
And then
Friday, I think y'all went out of town,
Yeah,
right?
Friday we went out of town,
Mhm.
and we had we went to this place. It was for our anniversary, and we went to this place called Sushi Masa. Sushi Masa. Have you ever been there?
I have
It
it.
is. Are you into sushi or not?
I'm be honest, I'm not a sushi
Not a
person.
sushi person.
I'm not
It's-
not big on it.
They have more than sushi. It's a really good place because it's all you can eat, but it's not like a bar. It's like you sit down, you order,
Oh,
they fix it and bring
and
it
so
out
like
to
you just keep like
You just
ordering
keep
until.
ordering.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and they bring you
Oh.
like all you can eat portion sizes. So it's not huge portion sizes. It's small. So if you want another one, just order it again. Well, we ate there, which is they have tons of stuff on the menu. They have like fried rice,
Mhm.
the
Ooh,
noodles.
I
They
love
have like
fried
the
rice.
chicken teriyaki steak stuff.
Mhm.
Just all kinds of little. It's a Japanese place.
Mhm.
Anyway, that was
Good
great.
time.
And I ate a bunch, a whole lot. And so that night we went back to the hotel, and I started feeling a little bad. And initially, ate too much. That's so.
That's what you do when you go to a buffet. You're supposed to feel like that.
So I ate too much, and so I get up the next morning, and I still have an unsettled in my stomach.
Mhm.
And then I was like, it's weird. I ate too much, but I feel like I'm getting sick.
Uh huh.
And I said that, and about an hour later, I was in the van, curled up on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
With a blanket over. So I went from I think I might be getting sick to an hour later. I was like curled up on the floor of the van.
So there, am I dying?
Yeah, right. And so I was pretty sick for a while. I never felt like I was in danger. It wasn't that, but my energy was gone. Like I couldn't do a thing. For the first couple of days,
Yeah.
literally all I could do was lay down. Like I would force myself to get up and walk to the front just to have some different scenery. But
Mhm.
but it was pretty bad as far as being weak and my appetite. Like I think it just came back yesterday.
Oh.
But I was eating like I lost like 10 pounds over all of this.
Mhm.
And I was eating the amount I need to eat to get to the weight that I want to be, or to stay the weight. I'm the weight I want to be. And I have to eat about 2,200 calories to maintain that.
Mhm.
And I've been eating a little over half of that. So I would only be able to eat one meal, and that's it. So I would just go to like the place where I could get the most calories out of a meal, and I just get like a double whatever burger with fries and all that, and eat as much as I could,
Mhm.
and try to get as much calories as I could. But I think that's over now because I'm hungry. Like I'm
But that's a
getting
good
where I'm hungry
sign.
again. So yeah, I've been crazy. So I've been sick. That's been my last couple of weeks. Has been being sick, and I'm finally back to I'm probably 85-90%. So I'm pretty much back, feeling good. So, well, what about you? I heard you. Well, we talked about it a little
Yeah.
earlier, but you had a little surprise, didn't you?
Yeah. So my wife got me super good, and surprised me and got me on a plane to DC for the weekend, like randomly. I had literally had no idea. She had been planning this for like since the end of May, I think it was. And yeah, she got me real good. Like,
So, in your head, you were going to New Orleans.
yeah.
So you got up. Okay, it's because we have very close
Oh, anniversaries.
anniversaries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's like a week apart or day apart or something.
I think it's
don't
like a
know.
day.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, I know it's something. It's really close.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, so in your mind, you get up. Y'all go to New Orleans. Okay, and so go to New Orleans, and so it's time to go home, and so y'all get in the car, and as far as y'all are going home or
basically, she's like putting stuff in the GPS, and I'm just like, I mean, that's normal because I mean, we don't go to New Orleans like that. I think that was actually her first actual time actually going to New Orleans and getting to do something. So that was the whole reason why we were going to New Orleans. Well, for me,
Yeah.
that was the whole reason why we were going to New Orleans. So, like, we went and had breakfast. And because I mean, like, we had talked about like, oh, well, we should do this or do this or do this or whatever. And finally, she was just like, we'll just do breakfast in New Orleans. And because I wanted to stay in Baton Rouge the day before, and we did that and did some shopping and eating and whatnot. And so we get to New Orleans, go to the breakfast place, get in the car, putting stuff in the GPS, randomly turns into the airport, and she's just like, well, gotta see this through now, basically. And now, mind you, this whole time I'm holding like this present box or whatever, and she's just like, don't open it until I tell you to, just wait. And so like when she pulls into the airport on accident, she's just like, okay, you can open the box now. So I open the box, and it's like flight information, and I'm just like, what is this? Literally. And like I didn't even like, I don't,
it didn't click that.
it didn't like, it was kind of like this, and I was just like, so are we going somewhere? And she was just like, no. You're about to go to DC, see your best friend Connor, and yeah, all this awesome stuff. And she put like the whole live video on her page if you want to go and see my like total shocked, like what day is this kind of whatever face. So she basically was just like, yeah, she had packed an entire bag for me, put it in the car, didn't know about it, packed the whole bag, packed me clothes for every day, everything, had packed me all kinds of travel stuff, and I was just like,
You know, that's something like us as guys, a girl could do that. Like our wives, they could do that, and we're just whoop. I feel
literally
like
completely
women
missed it.
investigate too much. You really gotta hide that. Kind
Literally.
Of stuff if you want to do. Well, with Trisha, I would really have to hide it because she's on top of the finances.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was to swipe, I would like have to have somebody else to buy it and then pay them and all that stuff.
Literally. Well, it was funny because like normally I'm the one that's like checking the account and stuff like that, and she was just like, hey, I'm gonna surprise you for your birthday. Don't be like that.
Don't be extra on the
yes,
account.
don't be crazy. Chill out. And I was just like, okay, all right, I can do that. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm getting like a surprise party or just like a car or something. I don't know. But and then like she does all that, and I'm just like, what?
It's nice.
And like it had even got so intense. Like she had got my boarding pass on my phone.
Oh wow.
Like I don't like it. Like apparently, okay. So fun fact: if you ever go flying or something now, like you can get it set up to where like the boarding pass can get on your Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, whatever. And so like she had like did that. I even checked it. I was looking. I was just like,
So
this
you
girl.
looked on your phone, and so she put your itinerary on your phone.
Literally.
That's cool. That's nice.
Literally. And it was really funny because like she was super paranoid for days, and she was just like, if you get a text about something you don't understand, don't look at it. Just give your phone to me. And I was just like, that's so sketch. Oh my gosh. And she was just like, if someone texts you about something and you don't understand it, don't answer. And I was just like, sketch. And so she had even got a text from the airport. I never knew. Like,
Wow.
I never knew,
Wow.
y'all. I never knew. And so it was just, I don't know. The whole thing was just like, it was crazy.
That's
She
cool.
she got me good.
That's
Like,
cool.
it was really, really good.
So you get to DC and what?
Oh, okay. So, DC, my friend is there doing it. He's helping out a home missions church. Um, it's they do a bunch of outreach and they're building a church there. It's called Living Hope. If you're ever in the DC area, great people, amazing people. Brother Jerry Staten, super awesome dude.
Oh yeah, very, very, very great.
He basically, we just went out there and just about every day except I think Sunday and Monday they go to some part of DC and they just go and witness to people, talk to people. You know, they're just friendly, kind, loving, and they're just like, you know, set up like little means, something like that, like going out to eat, maybe go get coffee. They even go to people's houses and do like home Bible studies. It's honestly, it's really, really awesome stuff.
And DC is such like a rich place. It's just so much
Yes.
culture. I've been on a missions trip to Brother Staten's, and it's just such a rich. And we did like home Bible, so we did the whole nine, and it's such a rich place. It's like it seems missions is different there.
Yeah.
It's world missions, but it's in the United States.
And it's so crazy because like the part we were at, because we went and did outreach in Columbia Heights, and the way that was, it was like literally like culture as we know it was actually really almost non-existent except for like the stores, and that was about it. Like you had people selling stuff on the street, you had like different kind of music playing on the street, like, and like the people you would talk to, like you could talk to somebody and they're all the way from, I met somebody, she was like all the way from Houston, but she had just moved to DC for like family stuff. And I don't know, it was crazy because like you could talk to anybody and they could be from anywhere, literally anywhere.
And when we were there, one of the things I always talk about food, but hey, you know, one of the places we went to an Ethiopian place, and they would bring out. It looked horrible. It looked horrible. It looked like, forgive me, it looked like an animal had got sick on a plate. Enough food on a plate.
No,
is what it looked like.
Oh my gosh,
it was amazing. Though.
Oh wow,
it was meat, and it had eggs in it, and they brought like some spongy bread. And you just break off the spongy
okay, I've
bread
heard of that.
with your hands. It was some of the best meat I've tasted in my life. Like it was so good. It did not look good, but it was amazing. I forget the name of it, but I've always wanted to like go back and have some of the Ethiopian meat with like the spongy bread. So it was amazing. Like just I love the culture there. There's just so much. It's so rich. It's such a rich place.
I will say that was the first time I tried Thai food. Thai food is amazing, y'all. Amazing. And like they just have so much stuff, like you were saying. Like literally, they have all kinds of stuff that you can try. So like if you ever get to go to DC, just go there with an open mind, be adventurous. Like it was an experience. Like it was definitely an experience.
Loved it. And so that's pretty cool. Like that's such a like unexpected treat. Like, that's cool.
And it was way out of my comfort zone.
Way out. And we'll be talking about comfort zone and stuff later. So that's pretty good. We're talking about being out of your comfort zone. But first, this is probably going to be a long episode. I didn't know. So
honestly, well, it balances out because the last episode was like
the last one was like
literally was like in and out, and we was like, we gotta go, y'all.
We gotta go, y'all. They ain't practicing. They're playing keys, and we talking about songs. So,
hey Lou,
what's up, Lou? How's it going, man?
Hey, Bill. They literally walked in and they was just like, hey, what's up?
Hey, y'all want to go see mommy? You want to go see mommy? Or you want to stay here?
Oh, he looks sleepy. He looks sleepy. He ready for his nap.
He's ready for that nap. So, one gotta go. What we're gonna do is we will have this is the Little Debbie edition. So, oh, she's
My daughter just woke up and we're making eye contact, and I'm trying to hope that she breaks it. Break it, break it, break it, break it, break it. There we go. Okay. There we go. She went back to sleep. Praise God.
Let's not touch that. Thanks. So what we're gonna do is the Little Debbie edition. One's gotta go. Swiss roll, oatmeal pie, zebra cake, and Nutty Buddy. Are you familiar with all of those?
So, fun fact, I am one of those weird people. I don't eat a whole lot of Little
Oh,
Debbie.
man.
So this is gonna be because I hate creamy stuff.
Oh, so it's like
With a
all of them
passion.
over here.
Yeah. It's like, that's why I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I really don't know. Because I don't like any of them.
My first one, which this is, if you would have asked me this while I was a kid, it probably would have changed at different steps in my life. But right now, the first one that stays for me is the oatmeal pie.
Okay, so I've heard the oatmeal pie is good. I've never had it. I guess I could give it a try. It's just
Their oatmeal pie is not super creamy in the middle. It's their oatmeal cookie is it's sugar. It's good, like it's sugary and it's good. And they have a thin layer in the middle.
I may try. I don't know.
It's good. It's good.
I'm always weird about like anything that's like filled because I don't know. It's like when you like I bite into it and it's and I'm just I don't know. I'm texture, y'all.
Texture first. You wanna go see mommy, Lou?
Lou just popped in to say hey, y'all.
So yeah, that'll be the first one off for me. Watch the camera. Hey Zia, can you turn around? I don't want y'all to bump that camera. Hey Lou, can you follow your sister?
It's really funny because they kind of like just set up shop next to the camera, and it was just like what's gonna happen?
Please don't. So that's probably my first one off. My second one would probably be the Nutty Buddy, which that has no cream at all. That's just like peanut butter chocolate. And you're like, I don't know, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you weren't a Little Debbie person.
Which is really crazy because I love sweets,
Yeah,
y'all.
I know
I
you do.
had a
Yeah.
serious sugar addiction growing up. Like
Yeah.
it was very bad. Like, which is why it's so weird that I really didn't eat Little Debbie stuff. Like, I think the closest I ever got to like Little Debbie stuff really was like honey bun,
I was just about
and
to say the
even
honey bun.
then, like I wasn't really crazy about honey
Yeah.
buns. I got to like I liked it. And then I could just hit a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
So what was your snacks of choice?
It was marshmallows till I got sick off of that. And then I was just
okay.
like, anything creamy is dead to me.
That's weird. That's where it comes
Honestly, that's what I think it's like food trauma. And I just never got over it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I used to love eating like, I don't know if y'all ever heard it, like Vienna fingers that,
I've never heard of that.
it's like basically, okay, kind of ironic, but like those cream filled like cookies, but they were like the small ones, and they were kind of like in that weird like not the oval, but it was like yeah, I don't know, they were so good, y'all. I could eat like half a sleeve. It was a problem. Like if my parents weren't monitoring me,
Vienna, what is it? Vienna cookies?
Vienna fingers.
Fingers.
And it's kind of like those inside out Oreos, not the
These right
end.
here?
Yes, like those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what these
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
It was kind of like the reverse, like the vanilla Oreos, but like they were like longer.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, those things are so good. They're still good. I had got some recently and I just kept buying, and finally I just had to stop because I'm just like, this is a problem, and I'm getting back to it, and my face was starting to like break out in like weird little pimple stuff because I was eating too much sugar, and I was just like, I gotta stop.
Vienna fingers. That's something I've never really.
It's
I've
addictive.
never really had those.
It's very addictive. It's a problem I have.
So yeah, and I guess I'll finish my.
Oh, yeah?
So and my next one off would be I don't know, because the Swiss roll and the zebra cake are pretty much the same.
I'm trying
It's
to
pretty
let me
much
look up the
same thing.
Swiss
It's like
roll because I feel like
packaged differently.
yeah.
It's the same thing though. It's like
Swiss.
a burrito and a taco. with
Basically.
beans in it. It's like
It's just
packaged.
it's basically like, how do you want your food today?
Yeah,
like,
it's like all of Taco Bell's menu. They got like five ingredients, and like 40 items.
And it's just like basically it's like 40 different ways to cook
You
the
got
same thing.
Cheese, beans, meat,
Maybe
lettuce,
rice if they're feeling
some
that.
rice, and it's all they got a huge.
I will say, okay, like random tangent, Crunch Wrap at Taco Bell is the stuff, y'all.
Now, which one is that?
That's the Crunch Wrap. I love the Crunch Wrap, and I was really
That's not the one
surprised.
with the Fritos on the inside, is it or no?
No, that's the one. It's kind of like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a crunchy quesadilla, basically.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've had.
I may be
I don't know if I've had
inaccurately portraying that, but it's
Is
like
it the one that's like shaped
Yeah,
kind of like that?
yeah.
I've never had it, but I know. What
it
you're
was
talking about.
really good. And then like you put their hot sauce. Like Taco Bell has some of the best hot sauce.
Oh,
I
man,
don't know
I
what
love
it is about
I love
it.
yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, like, my wife had got it, and she was like, do you want to try it? You should totally try it. I think you would really like it. And so, like, okay, I was just like, okay, whatever. And I tried it, and I was just like, this is good.
You know what? Taco
This
Bell.
is really
I'll be
good.
going to Taco Bell soon.
I mean,
I'm gonna be going soon.
trying to put y'all on it.
Man, they have this. They have. Oh, have you tried their Dorito tacos where the shell
Okay.
of the taco is a Dorito?
My wife loves
Oh, my
that
goodness.
stuff. Like, literally, she will substitute, like, whenever she gets, like, the $5 box or something, she's just like, but make sure it's the Dorito taco.
You can do that?
Uh-huh.
I did not. What? You can.
This is
sub
changing
your
lives right now, y'all.
You can sub your regular taco for the Doritos taco.
And I don't,
Oh, man.
I'm trying to remember, I don't think it costs extra. I think you just have to tell them, and they'll do it.
We're going to test that theory for I will let you know. Man,
Y'all,
that
it's
is amazing. Taco
it's-
Bell is really good.
If I like tacos more, Taco Bell would be my place. It's just I don't like tacos. I just don't. It's just it's just
something you just don't.
it's too much to keep track of.
Have
And
you
then
had,
like
the real tacos with the real corn tortillas and the there's this place called Taco del Gordo. There's one in Kenner.
I know I haven't been there.
And it's like the original place is in Tijuana, so it's a Mexican chain.
And they just like branched all the way out.
They have here in Kenner, and they have one in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And they have like the El Pastor pork where they have it on the little kebab where it's turning. They shave it off for you. And the lady's back there like she has the corn flour and she's like making tortillas.
Oh
and
my
they're pressing
gosh.
them
That's
like in house. It is amazing.
Oh my
It's amazing.
gosh.
That's a place. If you're next time you're in Kenner,
Mhm.
you should try it. It's called Taco del Gordo. It's
Taco del
It's
Gordo.
traditional Mexican tacos, and it's really good. That's not even cheese on them.
Wow.
They don't even have cheese on them.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, I think we even talked about this. Mexican food is, like, my least favorite. But I'm growing to love it because I'm branching out more. So I'm just like, okay, I get it. I get it now. I get why people, like,
I think
obsess
Mexican
over it.
food for me is like, the idea when I think about it, I'm like, let's make some food in. But
Basically.
when I'm there and I'm eating it, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Like, you
Yeah.
just got to be, like, in the mood for
Yeah,
it.
right.
But once you're in the mood for it, it's incredible.
Yeah. So it's, man, I don't even know where.
Y'all, we are like,
Oh yeah, oatmeal stuff. We went from. Oh, that sounds like Lou.
I was about to say,
Yeah, that's definitely Lou.
yep.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's a bad one.
yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it here.
Poor baby.
I'm gonna cut it.
Did he fall? Yep, he fell. He's holding his head. He fell. Yep. It was a bad one, y'all. Honestly, it was probably shock more than anything.
Yeah, probably.
Because I feel like with kids, like, when they fall, it's just that whole, just like, I just got hurt. Like,
He's like, wait. I'm hurt.
I know. Appropriate response.
I'm not even gonna finish the rest of this.
Honestly-
because that's they're like the same thing, the zebra cake and the Swiss roll.
Honestly, okay, I will say the zebra cake would have to go for me because, again, it's the filling.
The filling.
If the
Oh,
filling
yeah.
is what would get me.
Yeah.
I feel like I could kind of fake it with the Swiss roll because, like, I'm looking
I
at
used
it
to tear those things
and
up when I was little. Swiss roll,
And
I used to eat those religiously.
I feel like I could kind of get through. I could kind of push through it with a Swiss roll,
Yeah.
but like the zebra cake, literally, it's just kind of like you bite into it, and all of a sudden it's just like, and you're just,
You don't like the Christmas trees, do you?
I don't.
Oh, man.
Which is so bad because like at my job, like whenever they come out, people get so excited and they're just and like someone normally comes in and buys like, you know, they'll come in because they bought like a box of the Christmas trees and people are just like, oh my gosh, it's the Christmas tree, and I'm just like,
Over the side eyeing people like, you know,
this is disgusting. Because like I was just like, you know what, Josh, come on, be adventurous, try it. And like I tried it and I was like, I'm like,
Get this thing out of my face.
like, yeah.
That's it. So,
I be trying, y'all.
yeah,
I do.
That would probably actually be mine. The Swiss roll would keep it in. I toss the zebra cake. I
Just
like
can't
them
do
at
it.
some point, but they have like a waxy film on them too. Like you,
I can't
I
get
feel
with
kind
it.
of waxy, and my mouth feels kind of waxy after eating one of those. So yeah, that would
Can't
definitely
do it.
be the one that has to go. Definitely. And moving on along, we have another little segment. This segment we're gonna call it Fact or Fake. Fact or Fake. So I have 2020 was a crazy year. Or these aren't even out of 2020. I don't think these are just headlines. You have 3 headlines. 2 of them are fake, and 1 of them is real. And these are just from across the internet. So this
And that's gonna be hard to do, because I'm gonna be honest. This has been
fact or fake.
a time.
Can you spot the real headline? So these are the headlines: Ghost caught stealing bagels from local bakery. 101-year-old man finishes marathon. A marathon? And werewolf buys $500 glasses so he can see the full moon. Okay, I'm definitely gonna say 2, because a werewolf buying sunglasses and a ghost stealing bagels. A 101-year-old man finishing a marathon is that. I mean, that.
Someone's doing it. I don't know who they are, but someone's doing it. I'm gonna be honest though, with the past however long that's been going on, I'm inclined to believe the ghost one, just simply because
Actually, with all these UFOs and all that stuff, and,
I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody would really do it. Someone would do it. They would. They would post the story and be completely serious.
Let's see.
Is it one of those ones like you kind of have to like pick it and then they tell you, or?
Let's see. Next. You're right. So it was. I picked up the middle one about the guy. So you're right. According to BBC, a man named Fujwa Singh ran 10K race.
Go, sir.
That's not a 10K is a marathon. So I guess 5K is a half marathon. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't run
In
marathons.
1 hour and 32 minutes. The human body is amazing. So he ran a 10K in
At 101.
An hour and a half.
We have no excuse. We have no excuse. Other than I just don't want to.
101-year-old man did it. Yeah, man. Okay, the next one. Fact or fake? Can you spot the fake headline? Home intruder turns out to be a squirrel after woman calls police over strange noises.
I feel like that's the real one, to be honest.
Yeah, that feels like that could be real. Researchers say cookies are world's healthiest snack.
Lies.
And snake taught to tap dance for competition brings home gold. Okay, so how you gonna tap dance as a snake? No feet. Okay, that out the window.
And they just, that one probably got a whole lot of.
I think the home intruder turns out to be a squirrel.
Because that one's plausible.
Yeah, that's,
like.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Let's see. This sounds like a squirrely story, but this article posted by MSN News is true. So yeah, it's true. A home invader
Check
turned out being a squirrel.
before you call. Or maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe not. Who knows?
So, moving on. I know earlier you were talking about being out of your comfort zone and stuff. We're gonna talk about introversion.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word, introversion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Being an introverted worship leader, introversion. We're gonna talk about that. So, an introverted worship leader leader, I guess what we'll do is point out some of the
Was it like weaknesses?
weaknesses and flaws
Uh-huh.
and mishaps of being an introverted worship leader, and then I guess we'll talk about how to deal with those things.
Oh, also like disclaimer. Awesome stuff. Like being introvert is not bad. I know like some
Exactly.
people do say that, but like it's not bad. It's just for this particular thing, as far as like worship leading,
Yeah.
that is, it's not going to be your natural tendency
Yeah,
as far as like doing
it
what needs to be
hinders
done. Yeah.
to worship leading, definitely. Because we're both
Mm-hmm.
introverts. I'm an introvert. Josh is an introvert. So we're both
Yeah.
introverted worship leaders. So I think a few of the things, and one of the things about being an introverted worship leader, or an introvert in general, is we tend to put a spotlight on our shortcomings,
Mm-hmm.
like the things that we're not as good at. Everybody does this, but I think we might do it a little more. The things that are shortcomings, we put those out in the forefront, and we tend to like dull the things that we're good
Yeah.
at. Like we don't. I don't know. It's weird. For me personally, I think it's because I don't necessarily like attention.
Mm-hmm.
So if something's going to draw attention, whether it be something good drawing attention or something, well, yeah, something bad drawing attention. That's why I'm so self-conscious about the things that I'm not good at, because I don't want to draw attention. And then the things that you're good at, I kind of shy away on those things also because I don't want to draw attention. So I think that's one of the things we do, and we love our comfort zone, like absolutely love our comfort zone.
It's a good
Like,
place. Well, no. Well, okay. See, that was the introvert in me saying that. Comfort zone feels like a good place, but it's a trap. It is a trap.
it is. It is a trap. And we can love it so much to our detriment. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can hinder us that we love it so much. We can be in it so much to it stunts our growth and all of that.
Yes.
Being in the comfort zone. So that's another thing. One of the other things is it makes it more difficult for us to worship outwardly, because
Mhm.
the whole spotlight thing I was talking about, outward worship tends to make you think that people are looking at you, and it puts a spotlight on you in your mind.
It
In my mind,
does.
anyway,
It
does.
does. It really
That's one of the
does.
things that's difficult for me as a worship leader. Anything you can think of for you that maybe as an introvert?
I know for me, especially talking or doing anything outside of the norm, that is a huge thing
Yeah.
for me, because like it's basically just like, oh no, I'm getting off the tracks. Like it's like it's scary, because like like if you're like talking in transition or something like that, like it is genuinely scary trying to figure out what you're even gonna say.
Yes, especially if it's like if you don't know, and it's like, okay, I need to talk here, and you're trying to figure it out real time.
Uh-huh.
Like, the Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. What?
And then like you just did like 30 minutes worth of talking in like 3 seconds, and everybody was just like, okay.
Reading scriptures like where kids can.
Oh, literally.
Reading Deuteronomy.
I know, because it's like, is that in the Bible? Like, like
I don't know, y'all.
I know. And then like, I don't know, like if you're trying to like ad lib or do even like doing a run or something like that, like that can be I know that's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I mean, like doing it in private is completely different from doing it in public, mainly because of the failure factor.
Yeah.
Because if you mess up, it's just kind of like, man, that sounded trashy. But at the end of the day, no one's going to know but me and God.
Yeah.
And but you do it out in public, they probably got it recorded somewhere, and you're probably going to be a meme. That's probably going to happen if it's that bad.
Be on worship fails.
Yes, and like I mean, like you people think about that. I know, like I try not to think about it where it's just like, like you do something and then like you mess up and it's just like it's going on the internet. Like
And I know for me that was also a big thing for me early. One of the big things for me early was just being while I'm there in the space, like during announcements, like being present and being there.
yes. Oh my gosh.
I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but I was on stage one time, and it was during announcements, and this was when announcements were like, this was when people were more at my church. People were more out front for announcements, and it was before get out of the camera angle and all of that. So this was when, for announcements, you were just right there behind whoever was doing announcements. And this is when I was younger, and it was Jonathan Dean. He was like, smile. And I was literally looking at the floor, and y'all on the inside, I was, hello, darkness.
And it's funny because I could imagine this, like, you just listen.
And Jonathan was like, smile. Oh yeah, I keep smiling. But on the inside, I was away. I was comfortable, and I was not in a crowd. I was in myself. And
don't address me.
Being an introvert, it's just such a, I don't know, it's such a common thing to tuck away whenever you're not. Whenever you're not using your gifts, it's easy just to tuck away and
genuinely
go into that box.
Genuinely, because the box is comfortable.
That box is really comfortable.
You have made the box comfortable. Like
it's so comfortable, and I guess some of the ways we may combat that, those are some of the things to being an introverted that are not good for worship leading. I guess some of the ways to combat that is like I would think the number one thing is to focus on your strengths, find things that you're good at, and the things you're good at, because it's the things that you hear people tell you. Like
that's
people
true.
tell me all the time that I like that encouraging word that you said, or whatever, and the biggest one I get is about a smile, like my smile. People say, your smile blessed me, blah, blah, blah. And you may not think it's like a smile, like all in all, it's not a huge thing, but I've had a bunch of people tell me that it blesses them. So that is a strength of mine. So that's one of the things we want to do. And even if you have to write down your strengths in the beginning,
no matter how small
they are, or even if you have to sit with a pen and paper and say, okay, I'm good at, like I know you've gotten this before, just your outward worship. Like that, that is something that I can see and that I know is fly.
It's summertime, y'all.
Know, okay, this blesses people when Josh does this, like, because I've been blessed by it. I've heard countless other of our praise team members say that they've been blessed by it. It's just like it's one of your strengths, and those are the things that we need to focus on, and we need to work on doing those things and stepping out in those things, because it's easy to step out in your strengths. It's easy for me to smile. It's easy for me to encourage people while we're singing. So those are the things that I want to step out in, and I want to begin to move out in the beginning, because it's easy. It's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to set yourself up for success when you focus on those things and you begin to step out in those. So that's what I would say to do to start.
I know with me, something that was really good that I heard from Kevin, super wise God. Like he's been in music ministry and been doing this for he's awesome. But he had told me once that basically what helped him was like getting to that point mentally where you just say like, okay, I'm called to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
it sounds like super simple, but like when you know you're supposed to do something and you know you're called to do something, there's a confidence that like wells up in you, and
Yeah.
you realize like you second guess yourself less, because I think sometimes it's like almost like this fear of just like, am I even doing the right thing kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which I mean, like I feel like we all have those moments where it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like
definitely. Yeah, we
so
all
it's
do.
like you have to get that mindset of just like, I belong here.
Yeah. And this is I am a worship leader. This is what a worship leader
Mhm.
is, and this is what I will do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And like you just said mindset. You have to get in that mindset. That's what I've found in my worship leader journey is that most of the things that hinder me as an introvert
Mhm.
are mindset things. They're things that with a change in mindset we can get over them.
Mhm.
Like one of the things I like to say is one of the hindrances of mindsets, hindering mindsets that we have as introverts. One of the things we can get into is making excuses for our introversion, like saying, okay,
Yeah.
this is like you just said,
Yeah.
Kevin said, this is who I am, this is
Yeah.
what I will do. Well, when you have that in a bad mindset, saying, this is who I am, I'm an introvert, I
Mhm.
don't do this.
Yeah.
This is who I am, therefore I can't lift my hands
Yeah.
and shout and
'Cause it's
and
not my
jump.
personality.
Yeah, it's not my personality. That is as powerful of a statement as the one you made is
Mhm.
this is who I am and this is what I will do. And,
Wow, that's true.
and
Yeah.
saying this is who I am and because I'm introverted I won't do this.
Mhm.
I can't do this. They're equally
Wow.
powerful statements. One is liberating and the other one is throws chains on you.
Basically.
So those mindsets, and one of the things that I like to say is that we have the same fears. I have the same fears, same doubts as Todd Delaney, as
Mhm.
Carrie Job, as Charity Gale, as
Mhm.
James Wilson,
Mhm.
as whoever your the worship leader you want to put in, because we're all human, because we all have the human experience, we have the
Mhm.
same doubts, the same fears, but overcoming those and leaning into the hard stuff is how we overcome those doubts and how we overcome those fears. And we want to, like I said, identify our strengths, and that's one of the ways to combat that is we
Mhm.
want to identify our strengths, the things that we're good at, and we want to focus on those.
And honestly, what may even help, and this is going to require a bit of vulnerability or a lot of vulnerability, but basically, even like going to somebody you trust
Yeah,
who you know has more experience as a worship leader. And honestly, even in general, who has more experience in doing what you're looking to do, and just saying, hey, this is a weakness that I have. What would be your advice to me, or what has helped you overcome your personal struggles or anything like that? Now it's going to require vulnerability
yeah,
and being in a safe space with safe people,
yeah,
so on and so forth. But I mean, like when you do that, that that opens up the door to now you can get outside help.
right,
Because
exactly.
sometimes it's a lot harder to work on things by yourself.
Right, yeah, it is. It's a lot of, for me, I find a lot of the times it's harder to work on things by myself because a lot of times you don't have that, like you said, that
Mhm.
outside, not having that outside view,
Mhm.
and pinning. We're usually gonna make things in a pretty bad light if we're looking at our own shortcomings.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be pretty bad.
That's true.
So having that outside pair of eyes to be able to say, okay, this is it, and you may be thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just horrible at everything, and having a realistic
Mhm.
view, and somebody saying, okay, well, you could probably use a little work here,
Mhm.
and here, and this is how I would go about doing it. That is key, because we will sabotage ourselves. Like,
It is true.
just people in general. You don't even have to be an introvert.
Pew pew pew
You don't have to.
Like
You're gonna do it if there's a chance to sabotage yourself, especially when it comes to like insecurities
Mm-hmm.
and things that you're not good at.
Mm.
Like you will sabotage yourself.
It
So
is
it's
true.
good to have that outside, realistic assessment, not your own, because you'll mess it up every time if you try to assess it yourself. Yeah, that's a really good point. And another thing we want to say is, working on those strengths. One of the things that that's okay, that a lot of people may not think it's okay to do or may think it's weird to do, is to plan out little moments where you can work on your strength in a worship set. If you know that you're doing a song where if you're not a talker, you're not a speaker, you're uncomfortable with that, if there's a space where you can speak, it's okay to plan that out and say, I'm going to speak here, and I know the direction of the song, so I'm going to say, it's okay to be really general because in the beginning, because what you're doing is you're attacking a mindset. You're attacking that mindset that says I can't do this. So in order to attack that mindset, sometimes you have to plan it out, because you're gonna have insecurity that you're dealing with. You're gonna have fear. You're gonna have that, and you don't want to have spontaneousness on top of all of those things. So it's okay to plan those things out. It's okay. I think it's actually setting yourself up to succeed if you plan that out. Because you're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna doubt yourself. And to have to come up with something on the spot with all of that, you're kind of setting yourself up to fall on your face a little bit. So,
Because honestly, I feel like we've almost kind of glorified the whole spontaneousness, which it's really funny to say because I love stuff like that. Genuinely love it whenever like songs have that. But I think we've magnified it so much that we've almost made it a bad thing whenever people aren't necessarily like that's not their strong point.
Right,
where they're just like, okay, you know what, maybe I do need to have something pre-planned to say or anything like that. Now, I mean, don't sound like you literally are reading it off the paper. Like, all right, so now we're gonna no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But it's just like if you're like literally like practice a song, listen to it. If you're leading, literally listen to the song, listen to music covers. YouTube literally has hundreds of song covers, probably of the song that you're singing on Sunday. And so it's just like just listening to it and listening to different variations of it. Listen to like just listen to everything about it, even like the little intricacies of it. And that helps you basically generate ideas about certain stuff, because the thing is like naturally it is a struggle for me to be spontaneous and in the moment, because like I don't like to just always go with what first comes to mind, and that's something I had to get over. And so like starting out, like and even now sometimes or most times honestly, like I'll have a general idea of where I'm going. Now there are other times where like I'll start out with something and then a bunch of other stuff will come out. I'm just like, I don't that had to come from God, because that wasn't God. I did not plan to say that. But like it's okay to start out having a plan. It's just making sure also you're being flexible enough to, like if God wants to do something, or if God like pushes some words out of you.
Stick to plan, God. Stick to plan.
Be like, no, I'm not saying it. I'll quench it. Like, don't do that. Oh my gosh. So I mean, like, it's spontaneity is good, but if you're not naturally spontaneous, you're not, a trashy worship leader. That's okay.
Right.
Like,
exactly. And a lot of times, I don't think we know that that's learned. Like a lot of the spontaneity, there is a very small percentage of people that start out and you put them in front of a bunch of people and they can be spontaneous and say a lot of things. There's a bigger percentage of people that started not being able to do that, having things planned out, and as they got the exposure and as they got in those moments with God more and they're able to pick up on it quicker, then they became better at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bigger percentage than your just natural person that's just spontaneous and can do it on the fly like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a very rare thing.
Because honestly, it's like the whole idea of like ad libbing and being spontaneous and all that other stuff. It's actually easier than what we think it is. But the thing is, when you're first starting out, and if you already have a reserved personality, it's very hard. Not because the act of it is hard, but because of the mental
Right,
thing. Like
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
the mental thing that you're
Yeah.
trying to work on. And
Yeah.
once you get that mental stuff, going, then it's just kind of like, okay, you know what, I know how to flow. And everybody does it differently.
Right, exactly.
Not everybody is, whatever. Not everybody ad libs the same way. Some people, they can sing and run and talk and stuff. There's some people, they can sing spontaneously, and other people, they are better at talking spontaneously.
Yeah,
Both are
right.
good.
Mhm.
It's just
And
a
both
matter
are
of
needed.
different. Yeah, and it's just a matter of like, what type of person are you?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, and the with with the whole mindset thing and working on strengths and working on weaknesses, one of the things is the effects of being an introvert, the effects of being an introvert is I become small, I become insecure, I become less. Not so that God can become more. I become less just because
I feel
I
teeny
feel,
tiny
yeah,
and
right,
insignificant.
Exactly. Right. I become less for not a good reason, not so that God become more, but I become less because I'm beating myself up.
Mm.
And when we begin to attack those things head on, and we begin to lean into that, like that's uncomfortable. And certain things we're just, in order to grow, in order to be a better worship leader, we're gonna have to lean into some uncomfortable things. So,
Mm-hmm.
if outward expression, which is more of my uncomfortable thing, that's something I've had to lean into, and I still have to lean into it, and it's uncomfortable for me to do, but in that I become a better worship leader, because let's just say you walk into a church service. Your church service starts at 10 o'clock. You're gonna have a family that came in. This lady just got finished whipping her kids. She just got finished yelling at them.
It's
And
real.
now they just walked through the door.
It is
You got
real.
A couple, they just had an argument, and now they're
Because it's Sunday morning.
sitting in the church side-eyeing each other. And so, usually those first songs are to corral everybody in. Like, you got your people that have prayed before, all that stuff, and they're ready.
Had a breakfast, like.
Stopped by, got them the cafe.
I mean,
Stuff,
they ready.
To go,
They can go. Like.
But I see y'all. I know y'all. I see it every Sunday. Y'all out there. Y'all out there in that congregation, and y'all been arguing. Y'all been whipping kids. Oh, I know. I know.
Because life is real.
That's been the case sometimes with me.
Yeah.
Coming into church.
It's real.
So,
It's real.
And so, as worship leaders, sometimes I have to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
get on your feet, worship the Lord."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And if if I let my introvertness, again, I just made that word up. If I let my introvertness, if I let that cause me to shrink and to not do that, then there may be some people that miss that initial boat, and they have to catch up 2 or 3 songs in the worship set. They have to catch up the second, third song, and worship is moving, and they're still
Trying to figure out what even's going on.
Yeah, so a lot of times in the initial, we're snapping people out of it. We're saying, hey, we're in church, we're worshiping, get with it. And a lot of times that requires things that I'm not comfortable with. That requires me the high energy, hey y'all, and all this, and woo, and jumping and all that.
Because it wakes people up when you do that,
up,
though. It really does.
Even if being a worship leader for a moment, getting the job done, even if me being, for lack of a better word, a spectacle, jumping up and doing whatever to get your attention, and then once I have your attention, okay, God, we're gonna focus that on God. We're gonna worship.
Yeah.
But initially, we need to grab the people, and we need to corral the minds and corral the hearts and say, hey, it's time to worship God. It's not time to feed your children Cheetos and all that stuff. Well, it's always time to feed your children Cheetos. Sometimes they just have to have it, but it's not time for all the other stuff. It's time to focus in on
Yeah.
God. And so that's one of the things I have to lean into. It's very uncomfortable for
It
me
is.
at times to when people, a lot of people just staring at you and they just there and you like, hey, time to worship God, time
Yeah.
to get into it. So
Just looking.
and so that I've become a better worship leader because I've leaned into that,
Mhm.
and it's uncomfortable, but I've embraced that uncomfort and done something about it, and now I'm better at collecting hearts and collecting minds at the beginning of a service and getting them focused on God. So we have to lean into those things, and with Josh, with the things about being a little more, off the rails of the song and
Yeah.
venturing out and saying stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
That's one of your things that you have to lean into, right?
Yeah, like massively, because like it seems like it would be like, okay, you should just be able to just get up there and do it. But even just doing announcements, and I've heard like the pastor say that it is not easy to just get up there and just say stuff. It is
Right, exactly.
it is unbelievable. Like, it's oddly hard.
Yeah.
Just to get up there and do something, even something as simple as a welcome,
Yeah.
is hard. I remember I missed the intro of a song trying to do a welcome, and it was one of those. I think it was like Anything Is Possible or something like that. And the intro was literally like, boom, boom, and I was just like, "Hey, everybody, welcome to Refuge." And I was,
Still talking.
and then like literally as I'm talking, I'm just like, I done messed up the intro of this song. Now, thankfully, like the people behind, like there was somebody running tracks, and so he was able to like start it and restart it, and I was just like, sorry. But it's not as easy as you would think it is. And I know, like, I literally was just like, it's not hard. Like, once you finally get into the groove of like doing it, it's not hard. But like initially, it's kind of like, wow, snap. Like, I have to think about what to say. I have to think about timing. I have to think about making sure I'm making sense and I'm not just getting up here just saying stuff, because that has happened to people at bigger churches where it's like you get up there and you were just going at it and you're saying something, and then all of a sudden you just like this random word flies out, and people are just like, wait.
But he was just saying this.
Wait a minute. Where did that come from? And once you say it, you got to commit to it. So you just got to keep going and just hope nobody noticed. But like, it's I don't know. It's a process. It's just, the whole thing is a process. It's a process. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. Making mistakes is okay.
Yeah, and again, that's one of the ways to become better. That's one of the ways we get better, is messing up and failing and making it better the next time.
Mhm.
And so, as introverts, as introverts, one of the things we have to make sure that we do is that we're genuine with people, and with our expression, because sometimes as an introvert, you can be focused on phoning it in and getting the task done,
Mhm.
and it not be as genuine as it could be. And people pick that up. Like,
They do.
If it's not genuine, people will pick it up, and that's the biggest way to get minds and hearts together and get people focused in corporately on God is to be genuine, and to have them to say, okay, this guy is, or this lady, they genuinely care about me. They genuinely care about my worship experience.
Mhm.
They care how this move of God goes overall, and people see that and they buy in and they begin to worship and they begin to get in the flow of where things are going. So it's really important that we're genuine while we're doing the things, while we're saying the prayer, while we're jumping up and down, or whatever we're doing. It's really important that we're genuine. And I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I lost my.
Well, I will say, if you take on the mentality of, let me just get through this, it's going to play out in literally everything that you do. And I know that because I've done that. Because like there have been I'm going to be honest, there have been some Wednesday nights where I tried to have it. I didn't have it, but I tried. I tried really hard. I really did. And literally I would get up there and part of it was fear, part of it was insecurity, and it was just basically just like a let's just get through this and hope it comes out. Let's just get through this and, make it good. And honestly, it cut my effectiveness because I was so fixated on everything that like I just wasn't able to give my best in the experience because I was too busy thinking about like, okay, why is this person reacting this way? Okay, why did they react to this song but not to this song? Okay, how am I sounding? Is anybody flat? That sort of thing. Like just all this like internal mental stuff instead of being focused on like being in the moment.
Yeah, right.
Like that stuff. I mean, like you wouldn't. It's weird. Like you think you're hiding it just because like it's just in your head, but stuff that goes on in your head ends up playing out in the rest of your body language.
Exactly. It does. It does exactly. It does exactly that. And if you're worried about a ton of things and not the moment and not what's going on and not listening for where God wants to go and where the Spirit wants to move, it, like you said, it shows physically. It shows on your face through your expressions. It shows like people can see it in your eyes. Like they can see it. They can tell. They can tell. Yeah, they can tell. So we that's those are the things like. Those are a lot of things that we can focus on to kind of make the introversion, not as bad. We can focus on strengths and we can pick spots and pick places to step out in that. And we can have some weaknesses and work on weaknesses and pick a little spot to work on a weakness. I wouldn't work on tons of those at a time. I'd probably work on one very small step on weaknesses. And with weaknesses, I'd probably plan out what I was gonna say or what I was gonna do for the time being.
Hey, Lou.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Give me the trash, huh? Thank you. All right, you're welcome. Came and went. So those you want to focus on the strengths and improve those, and a little bit of the weaknesses and improve those, and we want to make sure we're intentional with people and we're engaged and we're what's the word I'm looking for?
Present
with people, and also one of the things we want to do is this when we do that creates the bridge and that connects people to God. It kind of helps. Like we all heard it, the vertical and the horizontal. The vertical, we have that. I think we get that good because we have our own prayer time, our prayer closets. Sometimes I think we whereas introverts, the horizontal is where we lack because that's the opposite of introvert. Being an introvert, you have to share yourself and you have to
and that is not easy.
So that horizontal piece is very important to a introverted worship leader because that's a place where we lack. That's a place where we're not comfortable. That's a place that we shy away from. So we want to make sure we're engaging people and we're smiling at people and we're looking and we're being very intentional when it comes to we're being very intentional when it comes to those things. I don't know, we got anything else?
Honestly, no. I think
that we covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
Lou, don't. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. And to be really honest with you, we did this. This is our second time doing this podcast. We did this.
Literally first time we ever had to do a retake.
About it. We talked about 45 minutes.
Literally.
On introversion and worship leader. Got finished. Looked at the screen. Was not recording. Had not been recording for 45 minutes.
We was going at it too. It was good.
So this is the second run through. We tried to remember all of the first one was I feel like it was a lot better than this. I feel like we got through this one. But hopefully we share some good information with you guys. You know, as far as combating being an introvert. And I'll recap it again real quick. Once we identify our weaknesses, we want to, and it's okay to write them down. To identify, I mean, our strengths and weaknesses. It's okay, and it's okay to write them down. And we want to take times during worship sets where we can work and we can step out on that, because that's what makes us better. Working on our strengths, working on our weaknesses. And we want to make sure we're authentic with people and genuine when it comes to the horizontal, because that's where we lack as worship leaders. Being introverts is where we have to lean into it, the outward expression, the verbally and physically, and the encouragement and smiling and all of the things that make us very uncomfortable. Those are the things we have to lean into. Lean into them small steps, baby steps. Because if you try to do it all at once, it's going to be awkward. You're going to bite off more than you can chew.
Yep.
And it's going to be weird. but
it's going to be bad.
But all of these things, when we put these in connection, it helps us as a worship leader. It helps us to bring people to God and to focus hearts and to focus minds. It helps that process. So, you got anything, Josh?
I think that's everything.
I think that's about everything. I do have an ebook. It's in the description on my Instagram, on the Worship Leader Podcast, Facebook, on YouTube, on my YouTube. It's a free download. It just talks about connecting with God and connecting with people. We come from a place, we're at a place where our church, it's a very rich place when it comes to worship leading, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to just a very rich place. And so the book is just an attempt to share some of the things that I've learned in an amazing music ministry. So go download it. It's free. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. You know, we have podcasts everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Check us out, like it, subscribe, all of the good things, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Peace.
Yep. Peace.